What was the weirdest thing someone asked you to do during sex? A previous girlfriend once moaned her own name whilst she came. Weirdest and funniest thing I've ever heard. She could never really explain why. She went full Pokemon, dude. In college, I slept with a girl I had been friends with for a while as sort of a rebound after breaking up with my ex for cheating on me. In the middle of it she asks, "How does it feel to know someone you loved and held at night was getting all this from someone else?" With this sadistic grin on her face. Turns out she was saying this to get me mad, because she wanted to be choked, slapped, gagged, etc. All she had to do was ask, instead of breaking down any dignity I had. Edit, yes, I'm fine now for everyone asking. This was about 3 years ago. We were already having sex when she said this, and I couldn't keep going after it was said. I had just began to get over my ex and this girl saying that brought it all back. I got up and left while she was trying to explain herself. She texted me the next day asking what was wrong and swore she never said any of that. Her friend, who was also a good friend of mine, had warned me long before that this girl was nuts, a compulsive liar, and would do things like see how many guys she could date at a time before they all found out. Her, do you like fluffy tails and bunny ears? Me, hell yeah. Her, gets up, walks out of the bedroom and comes back with an actual rabbit. Some of it rubbed off on me, I think. I have 2 bunnies now. Edit, to clarify, I did not have sexual relations with that rabbit. I did not have sexual relations with that rabbit. Let's call a press conference real quick, so you can tell it to everybody with a straight face. Give me a few days to practice in front of a mirror first. Don't tell them you have a bunny fetish. Don't tell them you have a bunny fetish. Don't tell them you have a bunny fetish. I have a bunny fetish, duck. I did not have sexual relations with that rabbit, damn it. Fart when you come. Not only I don't get how is that sexy in any way, shape or form, but how do you force yourself to fart? Not to mention the fear if I try to do it I will be the guy who shit himself while ducking. Edit, well this blew the fuck up. I read all the replies but I can't respond to all. Thanks for the upvotes and I laughed at most of the jokes, surprised how many of you actually like to do this, and a huge thanks for the silver too. Maybe just make a fart sound with your mouth and she can't tell the difference. Splash toot toot. Splash? How much do you come? Dot. Dot. Point your toes from a dude watched synchronized swimming as porn. What a ducking fascinating individual. I am intrigued and mildly terrified. She wanted me to say terrible things about her. That's how I found out physical abuse is much easier to provide on request than emotional abuse. Gosh, you're such a bad girl. Your handwriting is terrible. During doggy, he shoved my whole face down into the pillow and demanded look at me. Hashtag X200B, Not possible dude? Hashtag X200B, it's been a few years and I still think about it occasionally as a WTF moment. It was with a girl I'd been with for a couple of months. Girl said I can't wait to taste your blood. I responded with I definitely can't say the same. She was not pleased. Did she have any problems with mirrors or directly sunlight, perchance? She didn't ask this, but while in college, I was friends with a Japanese international student, who introduced me to this girl who he was friends with, also Japanese. Anyway, long story short, I had sex with her in my friend's bathroom at his studio apartment at some odd hour in the night. She screamed a bunch of things in Japanese. Later my friend, who was pretending to be asleep, told me that she was screaming no. And don't rape me. In Japanese. And no, I wasn't raping her and she spoke great English. She was just acting out a rape fantasy on her side that she didn't let me in on. Edit, alright, I should address this, again, since I keep getting replies on this. I keep getting asked wouldn't the friend come barging in as he would have believed it was rape. Here is my reply to another Redditor earlier to this question, no. Hence the reason I brought up that she spoke great English. The way we've all communicated throughout the night. If it was really rape, or if she really wanted it to stop, she would have told me in English. He knows just as well as I do that she is perfectly capable of speaking English. Hell, if she really wanted our friend to barge in and stop it all because for some reason she forgot how to speak English while in the act, she could have screamed help friend, come forth and stop this rape. In Japanese. Also, thank you for the silver kind stranger. This one ducking got me, holy shit man. Girl I dated had rape fantasies. It was odd. It escalated from her asking me to hold a knife to her throat to asking for me to hold a gun to her head. Not one to disappoint, I brought my small revolver. Unloaded obviously, and during us ducking, she took my hand with the gun and held it to her head. At that point, she noticed it was unloaded and said, "What the fuck? Why are you being such a pussy about this?" Nope, 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 nope. I'm not going to jail. Holy shit. Dodged a bullet right there. You have no idea. We had some really wild sex. She brought her adopted sister to join. One time I made her wear a paper bag on her head. You know how hard it was finding a paper bag? Hadn't heard from her in years, and sometime last year, she found me on social media and we briefly spoke. She lost custody of her kid, divorced her husband, and was living with friends strung out on meth. I wonder how that conversation with her sister went. A girl I know has a boyfriend that asked her to pee in his mouth and she was so nervous she pooped, a small nugget, raisin size, on his face. Edit, thanks for the gold and silver. She asked me to run a sharp knife along her back. Enough to break and cut the skin, but not deep enough to require serious medical attention. That was a solid no from me. Pro tip, if you leave a spoon in the freezer and use the edge of it, you can create a feeling similar to a knife edge without cutting someone. It works if they aren't able to see what you're using. This guy spoons. Hey. I see you've played knifey spoony before. Edit, my first silver. And gold. Thank you kind people. This is now my most upvoted comment lol. All for an obscure Simpsons reference that I thought only a handful of people would get. I love this place lol. She stopped mid-sex and told me put on your Batman mask and treat me like a whore. I'm okay, but did you do it? Bet your ass I did. She called me Batman the rest of the sex. I've never felt more powerful. She sounds like a girl you want to introduce to your parents. Wait. When my ex wanted to swallow my sailors, she would say, "Give me my chicken and dumplings #X200B. It was odd, but never threw me off. This requires more attention. From a professional. I was with a woman and she told me suck my dick, bitch. I obviously was confused, but she said later she just liked the sound of it when she wanted a dude going down on her. That was her way of playing a dominant role or something. I was probably 25-26 and she was 23. I wonder what she does now that she's married? I just imagine she has a sex dungeon room. And probably a strap-on of some kind. Edit, and this is my most upvoted comment by a long shot. Thanks Reddit. My now wife then girlfriend of 1 week told me to spit on her face and slap her, then proceeded to cry when I did it. So that was interesting. Edit, for the first time in my life, I can say this. Rip my inbox. Sounds like you settled in pretty comfortably after all that, eh? Married with 4 kids. Glad to hear you're happily married, oops mom's duck toy. In one night, a girl asked me to do the following. 1. Duck her on the toilet. I was seated, she rode me. Yes, the seat was closed. 2. Fuck her in the closet. 3. Fuck her in the kitchen, bent over. She demanded I keep saying this is how daddy fucks his sluts. After the first 2, number 3 seems so vanilla. Number 2 sounds pretty hot, NGL. Can confirm, number 2 is really ducking hot. She told me to hit her. I gave her a light bitch slap. But she didn't mean slap her, she meant hit her, as in with my fist. I didn't do it. This same thing happened to me. I did a light slap and she laughed and told me to make her bleed. I said duck no and she said okay and we just kept going lol. I went out with this girl, A, who had a bit more than a blindfold fetish. She would keep it on long after sex, often to the next morning. Then she wanted to go on whole dates surreptitiously blindfolded, with blacked out sunglasses. Her whole personality would change when she was blindfolded, in kind of a nice way, extremely affectionate and very girly. To be honest, I liked blindfolded A's personality a lot better than regular A's. It was weird, but super cute. Eventually, She found a website that sold blacked out contact lenses you couldn't see through, so we could continue in public. We would go out on dates outside our usual circles where people only knew her as my blind girlfriend. We broke up a while ago, but we still sometimes go out together as my blind friend. These bird box challenges are getting out of hand.